Hello, welcome back to TFR eSports Season 25. Here we are for the F3 Division Round 6 here in Monaco. I am your main commentator, CJH, joined by a multiple race winner in the F1 Division. And I need to double check this, Cam, but I think you may have won around here before. I might have that wrong.
Yeah, my first win was at Monaco.
Yeah. So, of all the people to join me for the F3 comms, we have a TFR eSports Monaco GP race winner. How are you doing, Cam? And are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, not too bad. But yeah, that seems like that must have been like 5 years ago.
It must be, yeah.
It must gotta be 5 years. But nah, yeah, should be good. Normally I'd be like, can't really be bothered to watch 14 cars drive around Monaco, but when you throw in the rule of a two-stop, it definitely spices things up. So yeah, should be one to look forward to.
And we are expecting a bit of rain in the race just to make this even more dramatic. But at the minute, with a minute left of qualifying, we have Ultimate Stan, who's reserving in the F3 division tonight, is currently on pole position as he starts his final flying lap in these kind of sunset conditions here in Monaco. Ledanes, though, really needing a good performance tonight after a disappointing result in Canada. He is 3/10 up on his lap at the moment as Curbold goes up into 4th place. So that'll be his final run as he hits the barrier there. And Alfie, race winner last time out. He made it 5 different winners from 5 races. Will we see a 6th tonight? He's also up on his lap so far. We've got the championship leader Scones only down in 7th at the minute. He's about to start his final run. But, as we know, Cam, qualifying here is absolutely critical. So this final lap for him is going to be vital for the sake of his race.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, same goes for everyone down to Toblo. I don't know.
Top Lobster, yeah.
Anyway,
Top Lobster.
Any Top Lobster, okay, cool. Anyone on the grid, no, it doesn't matter if you're the quickest driver in the entire league, you could put Epic in this grid, starting 14th, he'd do well to win. Qualifying at Monaco is arguably is more important than any other track on the calendar.
Absolutely.
Sure, in an F1 game, you can overtake, you can let go of the brakes a bit, send it into the hairpin, the bump wheels a little bit. But even then, if the driver in front knows what he's doing, you are not going to get past. So you need to qualify well. If you don't qualify well, your only hope is manipulating your strategy to try and get undercuts, overcuts, whatever you can, really.
Totally. So, meanwhile, Ledanes has gone on pole position by about 10th. Ultimate Stan and Curable both ruined their final laps, or shall I say Alfie did. Here comes Scones then, your championship leader, comes up to the line, and he remains in 8th place. That is a massive shock going into this race, as Ellis scrapes against the barrier there, coming up to the line. But that is a huge shock. Nepatal as well, big shock there, returning tonight to TFR eSports, only 11th for Alpine. But Scones then, wow, I did not expect to see that. He wasn't quite on it in the same as he's been so far this season in Canada, but only 8th place will be a difficult race in store for him with his teammate up in 5th in the end. Ollie Bean with a great lap in 4th, and I believe Alfie actually crashed coming out of the tunnel at that chicane. It's very easy to do when the barriers stick out like that, but Ledanes is on pole then, and what a great qualify for him, Cam.
Yeah, Nepatal, I swear, I know it's been a while since I've been here.
Was
he not in F1 when I was in it?
He was in F2.
Are you sure he was in F1? I swear I've raced
him. He may have reserved an F1 race at some point, but
I will say he was a lot quicker than the 11th in F3, so that surprises me.
Yeah.
if I had to put money on someone, like if you just gave me a list of drivers, probably would have been Nepatal.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, all right. That's a name I haven't seen in a long time.
And there's quite a few big gaps as well. I mean, even Scones, like I say, the championship leader, a second off. I mean, is that? Yeah. I mean, is that just Monaco, Cam, or is that a thing of, I don't know. It's bizarre. I'm kind of confused. That's that session.
Well, I mean, for me personally, I'd love to ever be quick at Monaco. Obviously, I had that one season where magic happened, But this is like, for me, I can be the quickest. It could be the quickest game I've ever drove. I could be seconds above anyone in different tracks. Monaco, I can never get a lap in, and I can never do well. So I think even if it was Scones being 50 points ahead in the championship, doesn't surprise me that he's a second off. Of course, it's a shock because you never expect to see the championship leader so far off. But I think definitely Monaco is one of those tracks where it can really just completely jumble up the pecking order.
It's an outlier, and it can, like you say, really just throw some surprises in, which it has done. But Ledanes has got a vital pole position there, and it's going to be a very tricky start to this race for these F3 drivers. It's damp conditions, it is only light rain, but that is going to be oh so sketchy. And I tell you, the odds on a safety car here are probably very, very high. There was a bit of discussion in the chat earlier in the week how many DNFs there's going to be in F3. And I think the vote ended up on 6. So we'll see how that ends up for the race. But it's a long old wait, though, as they all get their setups and strategies ready. But here we go, then. We've got 5 red lights ahead of the drivers here in Monaco. And we are underway as they crawl away from their grid boxes. And look at that. Ultimate Stan with a real snap there as he tried to get the throttle on. Ledanes then leads the way. Ultimate Stan gets a great exit, though. And you're right, Ledanes got late there on the brakes. And there goes Ultimate Stan into the lead. And Ledanes did all he needed to do at the start there, but just couldn't get the car slowed down. And Ultimate Stan then takes a vital lead of the race because he might struggle to make any more overtakes if he was still stuck behind Ledanes. Alfie gets very late on the brakes there, just misses the barrier.
No. Ollie was the one that got a bit late on the brakes, giving him a little bit of a love tap. I mean, Alfie is probably counting his stars, thanking that he's not in the wall.
Well, speaking of in the wall, there's a car in the wall. That's Sci-Fi Mega Hype in the Haas hitting the barrier there, and there was a bit of a Constantino effect there going into that hairpin, which you kind of expected at the beginning of this race. But to be honest, they're all still going. That's what I'm pleased to see, Cam, because I did fear the worst.
Yeah, what's happened?
There's 2 cars, I think 3 cars even, have gone straight on at the chicane, and Scones already has a penalty on the opening lap.
Is that 10 seconds?
I think it's free. I think it is just free. Yeah. It's 10 seconds for Ellis, though, actually.
Yeah, Ellis has got 10. Yeah, what I was going to say, just to the start of the race, I personally prefer a wet Monaco because it makes it a bit less scary. I know it's wet and there's a bit less grip, but you're not going as fast. And through corners like the swimming pool, you're going a lot less speed and you're naturally, lifting off the throttle. So there's a lot, in my opinion, as silly as it sounds, there's a lot less risk. And this is where it comes into, show how crucial that mistake was from Ledain. It's such an easy mistake to make in the dry, let alone the wet. But you can see he's got 3 cars behind him very close and almost stands just kind of running away with it. Yeah. If he had just tidied it up through turn 1, he'd be able to control the race himself. But now it looks like Ultimate Stan has got a bit more confidence in the rain, or with a bit heavier fuel, and he seems to be under control. So that turn 1 move, honestly, even though it's only lap 2, could play out to be very big for the race.
Absolutely, and like you say, it's just setting free. And at the minute, it looks like Ledanes is struggling quite a lot here because he's got Alfie and Ollie Bean right on his tail here, as the McLaren there of Ollie Bean drifts through the swim pool as he gets a time penalty. Actually, I'm not surprised because that car was sideways going into that corner. We'll see if anyone else dives in the pits. We've had a couple of cars already get their first pit stops out of the way, so they're expecting these intermediate conditions to last for quite a while, considering they're making that stop. Ellis is another car in the pits now. I think he was running about 7th, so that'll be something to keep an eye on here, Cam, is who decides to get rid of the tyres in these conditions, or if they wait until it's dry conditions later on.
Well, I think personally, the people like Stan, you just need to go and go and go for as long as you can on the inters, because he clearly has the pace. But for people like Scons at the back, who I believe is one of those sort of pit, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Get that pit stop done. When the rain comes, go on to whatever lap it is, go onto the appropriate tyre to go to the end, and just maintain position where you are.
Sure.
Because, you know, they know what their pace is. If they're difficult in the wet, then you're going to have to brave it out and then make the most out of it with maybe 2 fresh softs. Or if you're really good in the wet, you need to make the most of it if you've got the clean air. And I think those at the back, how many people have pit? The 4 people at the back have made the right decision, in my opinion, for where they were on track at the time.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's getting it out of the way early. If you are at the back, get a bit of clean air for yourself, just to get some pace down on the board. So Alfie had a bit of a poor lap that time around. He's lost a couple of seconds to Ledanes, who's starting to recover himself a little bit here. He's getting himself back in the groove.
Previously.
Yeah. So he's starting to set himself down. They got a bit of a queue behind Alfie now of Ollie Bean, Tob Lobster, and Curbold has joined the party here in 6th place. We've then got a bit of a gap to RW in the Red Bulls. 5 seconds there, with then the rest all fairly split up in the midfield. But at the minute, it's a little bit of follow the leader, Cam, but I guess this is the early stages of this race, and with the conditions supposed to dry up later on, nobody needs to make any crazy dive bombs or risks at this point in the race.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, because either their teammates pit or the gaps are big enough, no one's going to have to deal with a double stack. So everyone in the top, well, everyone that hasn't pit can afford to take their time and kind of attack the pit stop when it comes. No one needs to rush into the pits. Yeah. At Monaco, you're better off staying out a lap on inters and going early on softs, because the grip around Monaco when you're not on the right tyres is very scary.
Absolutely. As Ultimate Stan now sets the fastest lap of the race. Meanwhile, further down, Scones then is now very much stuck behind Sci-Fi Mega Hype, who had his spin on the opening lap, but Scones also brushed the barrier there. They've got to be very careful with that tonight, because obviously it's sim damage. It's on reduced, but the potential is still sim damage. So if they hit the wall hard enough, they will get a puncture from that contact, and it will wear the tyres more every time they hit that barrier. As Scones actually hits him. Yeah, he hits Sci-Fi Mega Hype there, and well, he's going to get very frustrated here, because he clearly can't seem to find a way past, and this is costing him absolute shed loads of time at this point of the race, Cam.
Well, yeah, I completely understand his frustration, because, you know, the pit stop to try and get a bit of track position, like not track position, but a bit of clean air to push and, you know, almost get a free pit stop out of it. With he's hitting him everywhere. You can tell he's frustrated, because he expected 10-20 seconds of clean air. Because of that spin from Sci-Fi in lap 1, he's got none of it, and he's stuck behind a Haas, which he's absolutely not what he thought he'd get out of the strategy.
Absolutely, and I think it's the same for Raheem, because he's in the same boat here, and and Sci-Fi obviously has not pitted yet. Oh, as Scones gets an awful exit there, just could not get the car to turn in, and continues on ahead of Raheem. But this is going to be very, very frustrating. They're losing time to Luke Toured in 9th. So actually, by making that early stop, at the minute, they're losing time, because Luke Toured, with a great respect to him, has not got that quick pace at the minute. And he's pulling away. Yeah, he is. He's ghosting, and he's through.
That's fortunate.
It is fortunate, but it's got the job done for Scones, and now he can kind of breathe in this race and get down the road, but the damage may have already been done. I say it again, that gap to Luke Toured has gone up another second just in the space of a couple of corners there. But that's going to be the thing here with Monaco Cam. It's just really going to be just timing it to perfection of where you are on at the circuit, and being in the right place at the right time, because if you do get stuck in traffic, it can be race defining really at a circuit like this.
Yeah, 100%. For those, just a thought, for those that have pit for new inters on lap 1, to me, that tells me that they don't feel like there's enough time on the dry patch where they can get in, go to dries, and then do another stint on dries, and get any effect out of it. As third and fourth are in Alfie and Ollie.
Because the rain has just
to
stopped.
me, oh well, that completely negates everything I was going to say.
Well, the rain stopped, but Alfie's whacked on another set of inters. So too's Ollie Bean. RW is also in the pits as well. He's popping on another set of inters. Yeah. So interesting.
Inters.
Yeah, interesting call from these guys. Maybe they're just trying to do that as the conditions are changing, and they want a hot set of intermediates, or what? I don't quite know. But
I wouldn't do that. I mean, for sure, they're... Yeah, actually... See, this two-stop throws it really into contention, because in a weird way, going for a hot set of inters on a kind of sketchy condition track might get the most out of their, let's say, second stint, rather than doing another pit stop onto dries. They might gain, honestly, seconds if the top six struggle on tyre wear or overheating.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I still wouldn't have done it. I don't think. I think I would have tried to go onto the softs.
I mean, they have came out in a nice gap, about 5 seconds clear of Scones. Raheem as well, by the way, did get past Cypher Mega Hype because Cypher did pit further down as Tob Lobster now sets the fast lap of the race in a bit of clean air. So that is a bit interesting, the fact that he's now found a bit of pace. Raheem has also got ahead of RW, who pitted as well for those fresh inters. The Red Bull did pick up a bit of damage as well, so that's going to be costly for him. But Alfie took another 2 seconds out of Luke 2 Red there, so these fresh intermediates, they do seem to be working for him at the minute.
I'm surprised no one's took a gamble. I really would have thought someone would have gone for softs, or even if you're not going to go soft, dry tyres at least. I thought someone would have gone for it.
But maybe the track is still a little bit kind of greasy, if you like. It's like it's drying, but it's just not quite there. It's like a second or two off the crossover. I mean, we haven't had any sign of DRS being enabled yet, but yeah, fascinating. It's fascinating. I don't know as well, maybe because it's going to overcast, it takes a bit longer for this track to dry. Northie's in the pits at the back, so I'll keep an eye on the timing board, see what tyre that goes. You'd think so, because this is his second stop. Yeah.
Mediums.
So he's on mediums, and he'll go to the end now. So that's him done and dusted. Ultimate Stand sets fast up the race, and Curbold's in the pits.
Here we go.
Medium tyres on the car for the second Ferrari. And, the interesting thing now is, what is his pace going to be like? Because he's right in the thick of it, and he's going to come out the pits, Cam, I think, behind this gaggle of cars. So it might not quite work out for him here, because look at that. Look at the traffic. Oh, as he slides out the pit exit there, he has got a heap of cars in front of him.
Now, I kept saying softs. The thought process behind it is if you're going to have to do 2 sets of dries, which the top 5 now have to do that, it's non-negotiable. In these conditions, if it's 50-50, he's really struggling now.
He's struggling, isn't he?
You'd go for softs to get as much grip as you can, but you know what? It's easy to say, watching the drivers, that they should take a gamble, but it must feel awful.
I think so. We've got a yellow flag, actually. That's RW.
I think it's the Red Bull of RW.
He has just came in the pits, actually, for dry tyres. He's got a 10-second time penalty. So I think he's dropped that coming out the pit exit. And then, as our leader is in, Ultimate Stan is in the pits. Now, that is a gamble, because his teammate has lost 3 seconds on this lap. But look at that, Tob Lobster's in as well, as Ledane sets the fastest lap of the race. So this is where the race is changing here.
Ledane's might get the lead if he plays out. Kuravold has lost 5 seconds this lap. And he's losing more time.
And Scones is right on him. He's right on him in 9th place there on the inters. Even Ultimate Stand there is wide out the pits. He would have picked up a warning for that. He won't get a penalty, but he went right over the white line there, all 4 wheels. And look at this gaggle of cars coming out with Tob Lobster right there. Luke 2 Red's going to have a little look to the inside. They do touch. And there is contact there. And Tob Lobster, who was doing so well in this race, resets to the track as well, just for good measure. but has a heap of damage on the front wing of that car. His teammate goes by just about, and so too does Kerbold, who has been passed by Scones on that previous lap. That just shows the difference. It is definitely not dry tyres, Camp.
Ledanes is putting seconds on Stan.
He is. And almost hits the barrier. He almost hits the barrier coming out of
He's got
Portier
no
there.
grip. He's wheel spinning in fourth. There's no grip out there on the dryers.
Unbelievable stuff.
Ledanes has a pit stop advantage over Ultimate Stan. He was 5 seconds behind before the pit stop.
And Top Lobster's off, and he's crashed. He's retired, actually.
That might be a safety car.
We might get away with it because he has retired on the circuit, so it's not because of a shunt or anything. Ledanes stays out. I mean, why wouldn't you at the minute? Because at the minute, Ledanes is flying compared to Ultimate Stan.
I haven't thought about it. Luke is going to be all over the back. Stan's in again.
He's in again. Sensational. And it's intermediates. Intermediates are going back on the car. He was controlling this race throughout, and now it is completely falling apart. Luke Toured is putting a set of soft tyres on.
That's what I would have done if I was the ones going on dryers. But why? No, for Stan, he had to stick it out. His only chance at maintaining the win was to stick it out. He's 2 pit stops behind now. Okay, Ledanes has to pit twice, but you've got to assume that Stan's going to have to pit again onto dryers.
And Ultimate Stan there, almost into the barrier. Yeah, look at this. I mean, but him and Raheem there coming up the hill. Oh, and they do touch the 2 Ferraris. Incredible. Oh, and they've touched again. There's a huge shunt. And
he's gone straight on the barrier. Kerbold's in the wall.
And that's massive damage on the front wing. This race has absolutely gone bonkers here. There's Raheem and the Ferrari again make contact, and they're both in the wall now as well. As Ledanes comes in the pits from the race lead. It's all happening here in F3 Monaco. Raheem has managed to get himself ahead.
I thought Stan had this done.
Yeah, I thought so as well, but he's
He's in for dries. What?
He's in for dries, yeah. And there goes Ultimate Stan down the inside of Raheem. Raheem has to go wide. I'm sure that'll be getting looked at later on. But Ultimate Stan then up into 5th place, but he's got to absolutely drive a serious recovery here.
He's all over the place coming out of the pits. Why has he pit? He had a 27-second lead. He did not need to be the first one to pit.
I tell you right now, those guys that went on those fresh intermediates, they are looking very, very good here, because I know there's a bit of a gap to the leader, but Alfie and Ollie Bean making that pit stop to intermediates, they're going to gain massively over some of those that have got this terribly wrong here. They've really got it wrong, particularly Ultimate Stan.
They're catching Ledanes quickly.
They are.
A second alone already, and it's been half a lap.
I think because
it's a big blunder from both leaders of the race. Ledanes, he had done it. He had got the lead he needed. He had it under control. Fastest lap after fastest lap, and a 27-second lead. He did not need to be the first one to pit. He should have just reacted, seen the gap. If they were catching him, he had more than enough time to react. Stan, on the other hand, I don't know what his game plan is now. Because even if he claws all the way back up to Scones, which I highly doubt he's going to claw 11 seconds, he still has to pit. Because this will dry up. It's not going to be 7 more laps of mixed condition tyres.
As Ollie Bean sets the fast lap of the race.
Alfie and Ollie are catching Ledanes by around 2 seconds a lap.
I know, it's a bonkers race, this, and do not go anywhere, because I think this could be anyone's at the minute. It is completely wide open. Ultimate Stan now sets a fast lap on those fresh intermediate tyres. I realise as well, Alfie has damage on that front wing, so that will be curtailing his pace here in terms of catching Ledanes. But Scones, who, I mean, not being funny, was having a bit of a tough time of things earlier on, has now found himself up into 4th place. But I think because it's overcast and it's gone into the night now, because this race started in the kind of afternoon sunset type thing, I think it's just making it take so much longer for the track to dry up. I mean, we're on lap 13 of 20 here. And
Ledanes was so close to losing his front left tyre.
I mean, he's got to just, I mean, it sounds obvious, he's just got to keep this on the
Park the
track at the
bus.
minute, and yeah, park the bus, because he's just got to survive until these conditions change, because at the minute, he really is in trouble, and he can't pit again. His hands are tied, now he's on these medium tyres.
No, but more importantly, he has no time to react now.
Yeah,
If Alfie or Ollie time it right and box for dries,
100%.
that 27-second lead is 2. Like, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Although, interestingly, he did just set a purple sector 3.
It's getting there. It is getting there, and I'm not surprised, because at the end of the day, it's going to dry up at some point, as he has a massive slide there. But Alfie is catching. Raheem now is into the pit lane for
That
a
will
change
be
of
the
front
dries.
wing and medium tyres. So he will come out behind the gaggle of Luke Touret and Nepatal, I would imagine. And that is his final stop. But Alfie then is now within range of Ledanes here for the lead. We've got a freeway scrap then for the win. That is for absolute sure. And I tell you, I did not expect this trio to be fighting it out for this at this point of the race, Cam.
Well, no. Definitely not when we saw the gap that Stan had pulled out.
I know.
I don't know how this has happened, to be honest.
I mean, I will say, Ultimate Stan, he is getting a bit of a move on now. But obviously he has made his 2 stops. And that's the problem for him. Ultimate Stan has made 2 stops.
I get that. And if he doesn't dry up, he can still win this race.
He can, yeah.
But if it dries up, he's in a lot of trouble.
Scott's
I don't
in.
see him winning the race if it dries up.
Medium tyres are getting ready at Aston Martin, so that is his final stop out the way. No change of the front wing, as you can see. Big damage on that. But at the minute, damage limitations for him, because he leads this championship, and there's a car gone off, and there's a big shunt. It's Sci-Fi Mega Hype. We've also got the RB off, and that is a VSC, I believe. It's not a safety car yet.
Oh, who can pit?
Who can pit? That's the question.
If you're Luke, you do your second stop now. If you can get into the pits now, you pit. You have to.
So who's coming around? So there is Luke Touret, and Nepatal as well gets a cheap stop. He also was on a 1 stop at the minute. So they both come in. Everyone else behind them are on 2 stops, so it don't really make too much sense.
If this stays out long enough, expect the leaders.
Dearie me.
That goes that.
Drive-through penalty for Ultimate Stan and Scones. So I say it again, your championship leader, just when it was looking like a good race for him in terms of damage limitations, and Luke Touret picks himself up a 10-second time penalty.
Silly.
As Ultimate Stan gets another penalty. He's got a 3-second penalty now, so this race has gone to pieces for him. And Scones as well. I mean, he might get away with it, as that second and third are in.
I don't believe.
Second and third are in now. So Alfie,
this is what I mean.
Yeah.
The Danes had no chance to react.
So Alfie says softs on. Ollie Bean on the mediums. Ollie Bean's going to be very close. Yeah, he's not quite got ahead of him, but Alfie then going for the soft tires. Ledane's now then. So, I mean, he still has to pit, so he needs to get in at the end of this lap, surely, Cam.
Well, let's look at the gap. Let's see if it comes down, because it might still be too early. You never know.
I mean, what a bonkers race. You know what? I actually had quite good hopes before this for the F3 division. 25% race with rain and 2-stop strategy. Yeah. And it's really worked. I'm quite pleased, to be honest, because it has given us such a good race, mainly actually from just the unpredictability of it and the mistakes that people have made. Ultimate Stan is actually still catching Ledanes here, but it doesn't matter anymore because of that drive-through penalty. He really is in trouble. But Alfie, on those fresh softs, is matching the pace of Ultimate Stan. So Ledanes, this is a no-brainer. He's got to get this in the pit lane.
Are we expecting rain in any other divisions?
Oh, he's disconnected. He's disconnected.
Oh,
I can't believe that. That is as unlucky as it gets. The timing of that, I'm going to try and get him back in as quick as I can, but that is rotten luck there, because just when he needed to come in, and the game has done that to him.
It's dries now as well.
Yeah.
Definitely dries.
Oh, it's Ultimate Stan. Absolutely sideways moment there through the first corner. And yeah, I mean, the gap at the minute to Ledanes is about 17 seconds to Alfie. I think the race lead has changed here for sure, because by the time Ledanes has got back control of that car, I think he has lost out here badly, and very unfortunate for him.
Alfie's to lose now.
Absolutely, because on those soft tyres, he is on a charge, and at the minute, we're going to lose our streak of different winners unless Ollie Bean can pull something out the bag. We're not going to have 6 different winners from 6, and it looks like it's going to be Alfie at the minute who is potentially going to change that streak. But this is Monaco. It only takes a moment, and things can change. His pace is good, Cam, but he's still not catching up Stan on those intermediates. That gap is still pretty stable.
Yeah, but Stan has to pit because he's got that driver.
Yeah.
So I don't really, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised.
12 seconds now behind Ledanes. Ledanes are going to drop.
He's in the pits, and I'm kind of just more surprised that Ultimate Stan is kind of
not anymore.
In terms of actually just survived more than anything, because this track is still clearly very greasy. As he comes down the pit lane,
come ahead?
He might come out ahead. It's very tight. I think he's not. But you know what? He served that drive-through penalty as he gets so close to Ollie Bean there coming down the pit straight. I mean, that was a razor blade between those two cars. But Ultimate Stan is, potentially still on for a P2 here. If he can keep those intermediates in the right window here and alive, he is still in the mix.
At the moment, these results are absolutely huge for the standings, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Alfie's gap to Scones, he's going to more than half.
Yeah, Scones still down in 5th place, which is not too bad considering the eventful race that he's had. There on the screen is all the drivers that have made stops. They have all now made 2 pit stops with about 2.5 laps to go here. And Alfie is in a wonderful position. Soft tyres, does have damage on the car, but he is clear out front. And Ultimate Stan is right on
those
Ollie Bean.
Those are still quick.
They are.
Don't rule him out yet.
Incredible. And, well, I mean, he's still going strong, and if he can get past Ollie Bean, I would start to worry if I was Alfie, just because of the sheer pace of the Ferrari.
2 laps left, I think I'd just let him go. Oh, he's had a big snap out of the last corner.
He has, and the DRS is obviously enabled now as well, down that straight. Seeing that open with intermediate tyres just does not look right, but he's just lost his opportunity now, you'd say. And Ledanes, for him, he just probably needs to sit tight. He's going to get a 2nd place here because of the penalties up the road, and that for him is a great result in terms of damage limitations with that disconnection. But Alfie, with a 2.4 second lead now, is looking good. Anyone watching from F2, that lobby will be slightly delayed by about 5 minutes or so, because we are on the penultimate lap here, so do not worry if you're concerned with that division. Right, this is surely done, isn't it, for Alfie, Cam? I mean, I don't want to put any commentator's curse on it because it is Monaco, but he is looking pretty good out front.
I refuse to say anything.
Yeah. Oh, it's Ollie Bean. My word, smacks the barrier there, and he'll be glad that was tyre face against the wall, because that would have definitely hurt those tyres. Although he seems to have had an almighty final sector here because of that, because he just took a chunk of time out of Alfie's lead. But he will not want to do that again, as Ledanes then is getting ever closer to Ultimate Stan. I think those inters, I mean, he's just set the fast lap there, by the way. Before Ledanes just set that lap. Oh, and Ledanes in the wall. Ledanes has hit the barrier.
Is that damage?
And he is very, very lucky that that isn't a DNF, because he absolutely hit that barrier full on there.
He's lost his end plate, though.
He has.
He needs to be careful not to drop out of 3 seconds here.
Oh, what a mistake to make. He just got way too hot into that first corner. A little bit like his opening lap, you'd have to say. And
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to be very careful as Ellis now gets a time penalty. Let's just go very quick check out the penalties. It's a current tie for the Darky Award between Luke Tourette and Ellis, both on 10 seconds at the minute. But further down there are penalties galore. Carabold really having a kind of poor result, you'd have to say, because of the way he was shaping up earlier on. But he is going to jump ahead of Luke 2 Red once he said that penalty. It's a second now between Alfie and Ollie Bean here. Ollie Bean with a purple middle sector. He's come alive here in these final lap or so. But it doesn't matter because Alfie is going to round Raskas here and has one more corner to go. And this will be a sweet, sweet victory for him because it's going to end that streak of different winners. Alfie crosses the line to win here in Monaco. And what a drive that was from Alfie. He timed the strategy to perfection. Ledanes does get second in the end. Ultimate Stan is third ahead of Ollie Bean, with then Scones coming home a distant P5. We've then got Raheem further down in sixth. As Kerbal now on the final lap gets a 10-second time, and he's got a puncher. He's got a puncher on the final lap. So his race goes from bad to worse because he's now going to come under threat from the others behind with that penalty. But what a bonkers race, Cam, and that was action-packed throughout.
It was... Oh, I'm just on board.
He's got straight on again, hasn't
he? Yeah. Has he got a double puncture?
He's just got the one, but he's having a crawl because he can't turn it. Where's Ellis? There he is. He's coming around the final corner. There he is. I don't think he's going to make it. It's going to be close. It's
going to get him on the line, isn't he? No.
But they both had penalties, and Nepatel actually jumps ahead and Ellis, despite having a 10-second penalty himself. I think Ellis had 20 seconds worth at the end there. What a bonkers race that was. Somehow we only had 2 DNFs. But Alfie, like you were saying, Cam, makes a big old leap in that Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, I mean, by the looks of it, the title fight needed a race like this. I can't say I've watched the races, but just looking at that, I think it was... Let me remind myself. But it was a hefty gap. I think 17 points, 18 points. So yeah, I mean, what I will say is that's great damage limitation from Scones to bring it home as 6th.
Yeah, I think so. I think a kind of race like that, it's just you need to get it home and get the result that you can. But Alfie really did capitalise there on the drama in front. Ultimate Stan, if you watched the first half of that race, you thought, there's no way he's not going to win that race. He was dominating it. And just a moment of madness with an early pit stop completely threw it away. And it just showed, Cam, that on those kind of intermediate tires, you didn't want to jump the gun. It was those who waited the latest actually benefited massively.
Well, let's not forget with Stan, he probably would have won it without the drive for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, before that, it was genuinely quite a good strategy. It just happens so that he did get that drive through, unfortunately. But, no, I mean, that was a great race right to the end with Ollie catching Alfie. Would have been nice if none of them had penalties to give it that little bit of, drama. But, nah, I think the top 4 at least, despite a few strategy blunders and a few bits of contact.
Yeah.
Really drove well in such a tricky race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is your lot then for the F3 division. I really enjoyed that. I was quite pleasantly surprised how good that was. But we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in F3. So that in itself is going to be pretty action-packed. It's here in the F3 division. But thank you, Cam, for joining me on the comms. Been a pleasure as always. And then, like I said, we'll be back next time for Baku, and we'll see you in the next one. And that's a wrap.